Yo, what's good, everybody? Well, we back with another video. Told you I've been doing a lot of painting, so yeah, check me out. Join my boy J.Cole. He's a rapper, very lyrical rapper, kind of inspirational for me. He was somebody I was rocking out to in college when I was trying to get out of school. He had a lot of that focus music, so I kind of started off painting this one, and it's one of them sketches that I was sitting on for a while because, you know, I'm kind of new to the portrait thing in painting. I can pull colors together really good, but, you know, I wasn't really making a lot of paintings. Growing up, I was doing a lot of sketching and a lot of colored pencils and stuff like that where I know how to control stuff. So this is one of the J. Cole pictures. I took a screenshot of the Everybody Dies video, and I kind of took a picture of him, you know, riding on the back of the truck. You know, I just felt like it would have been a nice little picture, you know, to paint up or whatever. So I took that, ran with it. Started on this one. I also started on this painting before I, you know, started recording all my art and stuff like that. So try to shy away from it, you know, but the more I do it, I'm just gonna get colder and colder with it. One thing I learned and I noticed, like, if you know how to do makeup and stuff, you kind of got to understand these colors, because you're pretty much painting when you're doing makeup. So I actually had to look up a couple painters, but they all recommended that you kind of pay attention to how some people do makeup on females and stuff like that, because you got to understand those highlight spots, and those will be the same spots that you'll be highlighting on the actual painting. So you'll notice how some people, how most women, when they're doing their makeup, they do the forehead, cheekbones, the tip of the nose, and it's like always a light spot under the chin, I believe, and above the lip. So that's something that I want to try to implement on here. But I'm definitely laying my dark foundation down first. So when it comes to doing painting, it's a little different than doing my digital art. See, with the digital art, you can do the layers, and layers is like a cheat code, because you can erase stuff, move stuff, shape shift it out however you want. But when it comes to painting, you got to work your way from the back to the front of the canvas. So what you want to do is your background first, and then you'll have to work your way up from your dark tones all the way up to your light tones and your highlights. So that's the different concept that I'm trying to use. It's definitely a learning curve, but I did pretty good. It's my first time. I kind of understand colors. Shout out to Mr. Arkansas from Green Oaks High School. He's not there teaching anymore, but he retired. But he definitely taught me a lot when it comes to colors and values. And pretty sure a lot of artists, if you're watching it, you know about the value scale. When you take a pencil and go from white to black, you have to do those 6 different, you know, shades of it. So yeah, when it comes to doing hands and stuff, you know, a lot of people complain about it being hard. Hands are hard. They can be, but it take a lot of practice. That's something I'm kind of working on. I think pretty soon you'll be seeing me working on the painting of some prayer hands. That's a project I've been holding back on. So right here, I just wanted to make sure that I kind of get the reflection from the truck, you know, at least the way I interpret it. It's not picture perfect, I should say, but you can kind of tell like it's the rear window, and you can kind of see the trees in it. I just wanted to be a dark spot there. Yeah, so right here I'm just adding the dark areas under the shorts where the light will be light on top of the shorts, and at the bottom it'll be darker. Just think in your head, imagine like a flashlight. If you take a ball and flash a light on one side of it while it's sitting on a flat surface, the other side is going to be dark. You know what I'm saying? Then you have to worry about the light that's bouncing off that table that you have it sitting on, but that one side that the light shining on is going to be real bright. So that's kind of the concept I was going. Even when you look at the neck on J.Cole, like on one side is light and the other side is dark. I struggle with growing up with my art. It's like I was always afraid to go too dark because I feel like it'll mess it up. But Miss Darkest always used to tell me, like, don't be afraid of it because it just adds the more realistic. Yeah, of course, J. Cole, one of those rappers that's always been talked about between Kendrick and Crit, you know. But I want to say, like, man, that Born Center album was probably the one where I jammed the most, especially while I was in school. Illuminati, Chaining Day. I wore Chaining Day out. And then, you know, he just killed it for me when he came out with 2014 Forest Hill Drive. I don't know which one is harder. I listen to Forest Hill Drive a lot. I don't know which one you think harder. Or what's your coldest, you know, J. Cole album? Which one you think better? I mean, and you can compare that to the ones now, but out of them two, yeah, I think I'm gonna go 2014 Forest Hill Drive. Let me know in the comments, man. And my favorite part, the best part about painting, doing your outlines. The outlines is pretty much gonna make everything pop. It's gonna bring everything into perspective. You get to see what lines and, you know, and what line's supposed to go. Oh, I didn't know there was a knuckle right there. Well, now you see that because I just drew it in there. At first, you just thought it was a dark spot, but yeah, it's a knuckle. When I start with the photos, I'll try to have the end picture in my head and just go from there. So I mean, from the hem of his pants where the jeans ride, and even up until where the tear is supposed to be in the jeans. But all that comes out when you actually do your outline, so, you know, just make everything stand out. most artists that paint a lot, they love doing the outline. One of the hardest parts about being an artist is like sometimes you're not gonna always get stuff to look perfectly like it is. So you kind of gotta, make up for areas that you can't see in the photo, that's too dark and too light, and areas that just don't exist. You kind of gotta factor that stuff in. So that's what I kind of did with the heart, because on the original photo you really can't see. If you look at the actual photo of the horse, you can't tell, pretty much where the horse hairs end on the shirt. So it's just like one of those things you gotta kind of make up. And if you're wondering what I'm doing my outline with, it's a permanent marker, a black permanent marker Sharpie. I prefer the thin ones because it has that fine tip where you can really have control over where you're doing your markings and stuff like that. But the only downfall about those that I've learned is that they don't, it feel like they run out of ink. They don't give you enough ink as they're coming out, especially when it comes to like drawing on canvases. So you have to shake it a lot. So you'll see right here, I'm switching over to a thicker permanent marker, and I'm kind of just retracing my lines. It's gonna make the whole painting come out a little bolder than I planned. But because that pen was practically, I had to go over like a line like 12 times just to make it stand out. So I was like, you know what, let me just go bold with it. So right here, I'm taping the picture up with painter's tape so I can get the edges all black. I might start doing this first. That way I won't have to worry about paint getting on one side of it. But makes it look a little bit more professional. And there you have it. Hollywood Code. Yeah.